how did that manifest to you from one trip to the next in terms of your takeaways? How it changed your thinking or your behaviors?
Well, as a photographer, as a storyteller with a camera, whether it's video or stills, doing recordings, etc., a lot of us essentially go into the zone. Okay. So, in other words, when we get to a story, we've done our research in advance. We've learned as much as we possibly can from people that have gone before us, done the research, published it, whatever the case may be. And with that, it lets me focus in without being reckless in what I do. In other words, I pay attention to those children and those caregivers and those teachers. And I get into that zone for 2 or 3 days because I'm only there for 2 or 3 days max. I could spend a week there, Leo. The one you mentioned, both of those I could mention. I could spend, well, you didn't mention the second one yet. I think you have another two in your mind. I could spend a week or a month there to tell their stories. But as a photojournalist, in many cases, when budgets are limited, we only can go for a short period of time. Usually I was traveling with a group that was doing diligence on those organizations, but I broke away from the group and I did my photography, my own video and still images. There were few daunting moments when I was with a group, but when I was working with fixers in South America or in Ethiopia or other countries, that could be dangerous. Some things I didn't know about before I went. Um, for instance, when I was in Vitória, Brazil, working on a project on microfinancing um, outside of the large city of Vitória, which is a beautiful, gorgeous city. You look at it, you look at the hotel I'm staying in. Okay, this was extraordinary. I stayed in this really nice hotel. You go across the street and you go into poverty, and the higher you go up the hill, the greater the poverty is. And at the top of the hill, I found out the day I went out to shoot that my fixer, that's the person in the organization who helps me get access to my subject matter, my fixer said, "We've made deals with the gangs." Deals with the gangs? I said, "Yeah." He says, "Most of them are up on the top of the mountain. They're usually middle teenage, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, and they're carrying ARs, heavy weaponry. And I see these Jeeps running up with militia hanging off of them with M16s, just going to occurrences that take up place up in the mountain." That was a scary moment. But then when I met the people who I was photographing, it gave me a great sense of peace because I realized that being there, I had a sense of purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
And my purpose was to tell their story trying to survive in a very difficult socioeconomic environment that most of the world has no idea what's going on. They're too busy following major weather or environmental or political events. So, yeah,